story to tell. After April 30, 1975, the amount of spoils that the Vietnamese army obtained from the Saigon army was estimated at billions of dollars, enough to equip an entire modern army. And also these weapons have greatly contributed to the Vietnam People's Army defeating the genocidal Khmer Rouge during the 1979 Southwest Border Protection War. Among these weapons can be mentioned types of fighters manufactured by the US. The Vietnam People's Air Force later used them on Cambodian battlefields. The Vietnamese called the K battlefield, typically the F-5E and F-Tiger light fighter. According to unofficial sources, Vietnam has captured at least 40 F-5 light fighters with C, E, and F variants, and reused them in the Southwestern Border Defense War. Not only F-5 fighters, Vietnam also obtained American AIM-9 air-to-air missiles. In the Cambodian battlefield, these missiles were not used. Next was the A-37 Dragon light attack aircraft. These aircraft were used by the Vietnam People's Air Force for extremely effective air support missions in the Cambodian battlefield. Vietnam also captured a number of C-130 heavy transport aircraft. This is a strategic transport aircraft with a maximum takeoff weight of up to 70 tons. They served logistics during the years when the Vietnamese volunteers were stationed in the Cambodian battlefield. In total, Vietnam owned about 7 C-130 transport aircraft after 1975, and to this day, it is still the largest transport aircraft Vietnam ever owned. On the list of Vietnamese spoils are the CH-47 Chinook heavy transport helicopters. The People's Air Force of Vietnam operated 5 CH-47s, and so far all of them have retired. The UH-1 helicopter was the most used by the US and its allies during the Vietnam War. They were among the most captured by Vietnam. The UH-1 was very suitable for the later Cambodian battlefield. It not only served for the loading, but also had very good fire support capabilities. The Vietnam People's Air Force UH-1 helicopters were equipped with a 6-barrel machine gun and rocket pulse, according to the standards used by the US during the Vietnam War. Regarding armored vehicles, Vietnam captured a number of M48 battle tanks and were also used on the Cambodian battlefield. According to the documents, the M48 battle tanks were often used only for guard duty and as a reserve force. The most popular type of armored vehicle used by the US in Vietnam is the M113 armored personnel carrier. Vietnam also used a large number of these armor on the Cambodian battlefield with extremely good efficiency. Up to now, the M113 continues to be in service with the Vietnamese Army. These were considered the most valuable spoilers. As of early 1975, in the payroll of the Saigon Army, there were about 1,500 M113 units. After the victory in 1975, hundreds of vehicles were put into service with the Vietnamese Armed Force, in which many vehicles were still in good working condition. The M113s entered the battle with great efficiency in the Southwestern Border War in 1977 to 1979. At times, it even overwhelmed the role of other armored vehicles made by the Soviet Union and China. Thanks to M113, the Vietnam People's Army quickly gained an overwhelming advantage over the Khmer Rouge. Currently, the M113 is still a key force in the Vietnamese Armed Army. In addition to the above weapons, Vietnam seized a series of other modern weapons and combat vehicles, including M114 155mm and M2A1 105mm howitzers, LST-1, LCU-1466 landing ship. There was also a very large number of M16 rifles, AR-15s, M79 grenade launchers, and other heavy machine guns. By the 1990s, most of the weapons Vietnam obtained had difficulties in operation due to the lack of spare parts and components. The UH-1 helicopters, F-5, A-37, CH-47 aircraft had to be shut down due to the lack of spare parts. After the Vietnam-US normalization of relations, the chances of reviving US weapons became clearer. Currently, the UH-1 is being refurbished and modernized with the help of the US, which is being restored for civil and defense purposes. The M114 155mm and M2A1 105mm howitzers continues to be modernized. Up to now, it is still the main howitzers of the Vietnamese Army. The M16 rifle has also been modernized for continued use. My video about the spoils that Vietnam get after 1975 ends here. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.